Hi again, everyone. Scott Pirate Popcorn fan here, and in this video, the season finale of the Book of Boba Fett just aired this Wednesday, and I have seen the episode, so now I am ready to do my full season review of the Book of Boba Fett. But before I do, I do want to talk about the season finale too as well, because I think there were a lot of good moments. Definitely, like I enjoyed the episode, and there were some clever references to a certain beloved eighth wonder of the world. I'll put it that way within this episode, and I just it was an enjoyable episode, and I think there were definitely a lot of good moments, especially with the character that appeared at the end of the previous episode, having a standoff with Boba, and just a lot of really cool moments, and also with the Mandalorian, and and just really enjoyable. But I gotta give quite a few criticisms towards the show as a whole, because it has a bit of an identity crisis. And what I mean about that is, in the first few episodes, you have a bulk of the episodes being mainly flashbacks. And then, in this last few episodes, specifically the 5th episode and the 6th episode, primarily focusing on Mandalorian Din Djarin and his journey after the events of season 2 of Mandalorian. And those were some of my favorite episodes of the entire season. And that's just a bit of an issue when you're doing a show about Boba Fett, and in a couple of the episodes, he's barely in them. And in the first couple episodes of the season, it just focuses so heavily on the flashbacks, and the storyline within the flashbacks is a lot more interesting than the storyline in the present time, which, leading into my main criticism of this show, they just don't flesh out the present timeline story enough. And because of that, you just don't really care for the characters. Granted, it's Boba Fett, but there's no personal attachment that Boba Fett has with anything or anyone. I know Fennec Shand is his right hand, and he has his rancer, but he just doesn't have a personal connection to anything like the Mandalorian has with Grogu. And it's just, they don't flesh out the villains. They barely do much with the villains until the last episode, in episode 6 at the very end. And it's just, the writing is just a little all over the place with the story, and they just don't flesh it out. They don't flesh out the main storyline because of everything else that they're doing with the flashbacks and with the Mandalorian, and that's just a bit of an issue. This show has an identity crisis because they don't know what to do with Boba Fett. But, I did enjoy the show. I'm not gonna lie. I like being back in the world of Star Wars. Ever since season 2 of Mandalorian, we haven't had anything Star Wars related except for Star Wars: The Bad Batch. And, so it's good to be in this world again with this show. But the story, the writing, the way they paced everything, it just didn't, it just didn't go naturally the way it was supposed to, and because of that, you just don't really care for some of the characters in the season finale, and there's just not as much of a payoff as you might want. Granted, there is payoff, like what they did with the Clone Wars character that appeared at the end of the previous episode. Some fans of Clone Wars might be upset with what they did with that character in the season finale. I understood it, and there was a bit of a history between the Clone Wars character and Boba Fett, and I don't want to spoil it. So, yeah, I did enjoy the episode, and enjoyed the season as a whole, but it's just that they just did not flesh out the present storyline that much at all with everything else that they were doing. And I mean, with Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, I like that the creators, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they're taking little bits and pieces from everything within the Star Wars canon, from the movies to the TV shows, and just kind of combining all of that into these new shows that they're doing with Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett, and also the upcoming Ahsoka show, the upcoming Obi-Wan show, and there's a lot of upcoming Star Wars shows that I'm really looking forward to. And so far, like, if I had to rank all the seasons of the current shows, Book of Boba Fett, it's my least favorite season compared to Season 1 and Season 2 of The Mandalorian. I think Season 2 of The Mandalorian is the best live-action TV show season thus far. So, yeah, Book of Boba Fett, I did really enjoy it, I'm not gonna lie, but it has quite a few issues. And if I had to give a grade for it, I'd probably give it like a B+, as for the season as a whole. So, I mean, that's really it for this review. It's just, you know, I haven't been this critical of something Star Wars related ever since Star Wars The Last Jedi. It's just, they just didn't do a whole lot with the Boba Fett character, and giving him a character, giving him more character growth. I mean, they did, I mean, he does have a character growth. Like, if you think about the flashbacks, there is something there, but in the current story, he just doesn't, he's at the same place at the beginning of the season to where he is at the end of the season, and emotionally, and because of that, it's just not, there's not a whole lot of character growth right there, and because of that, it's just not fleshed out enough. Especially the villains, like I said, they're also like faceless dome names. The Pike Syndicate. I mean, yeah, there was the Clone Wars character, but the actual villains, they just, you know, there wasn't a whole lot to them, basically. So, yeah, that's my review for the Book of Boba Fett, B+. So, yeah, that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.